So I haven't been uploading for a few days, and here's why. So I've been working on these two guides here, mainly this one because this I made very quickly. So this is my Arch Linux installation guide that I've been working on, because a lot of people say that Arch Linux is hard to install, and I'm using it right now. So if I open up Info Center, as you can see, this is Arch Linux, and I didn't install it with the Arch install script. I installed it manually. Now my recommendation is you use the manual way as well, unless you just want to get it done very quickly. So if you are a beginner to Arch Linux, use the manual way, and maybe you can use this guide that I've been preparing. As you can see, it's relatively small and it's only like about 200 lines. And so we have this Arch Linux installation split into three parts. That is the pre-installation, then of course we've got the base installation, and finally we've got the post-installation. So that should be somewhere around here. Yeah, here it is, post-installation. So as you can see, the base installation is actually very quick because all we're doing is downloading a lot of packages. Pre-installation I think is one of the hardest of all three steps, because you need to do partitioning and stuff. So I'll link this guide down in the description, and let's also just kind of read through this to show you how quick you can install Arch Linux manually, and then you can go ahead, flex on your friends, whatever. So I'll talk about this later. Let's talk about this now. So the pre-installation, first we have to set up our keyboard. I do want to note that this is for the US keyboard layout, this installation, which most of you are using that keyboard layout. It's basically this regular English keyboard layout. So you have to type the load keys US for that. Then you set your font. So if you have a very high resolution monitor, this is gonna be useful because this just makes the font a little bit bigger. And then you use the cfdisk utility to enter into your NVMe N1 drive. So this is going to be disk 0 basically, and if you have another disk you want to install to, you might want to change this appropriately. So NVMe N1 2 or 3 like that, NVMe N1 like that. So ON2, ON3, ON4, it's gonna be like that. So disk 0 is usually what your Windows disk is gonna be. I have mentioned the dual booting guide in here as well. So if you head over here, you can see that the new EFI system and Linux swap and Linux file system is our partitions, and you have to create this from your free space. Then we format the partitions. So you run lsblk to see your partitions table, and I have already mentioned a few examples here, and then you format it. So root is going to be formatted with mkfs ext4, EFI is obviously mkfs fat, and swap is mkswap. And then you mount the partitions. For swap you just turn it on with swap on, and then you are done with the pre-installation. Then you do the base installation, where you have to run this backstrap command. This installs the KDE Plasma desktop environment as well as the STDM display manager. So you can remove these two stuff if you don't want it. And it also installs SOF firmware package, which is for newer sound cards. So you'll need this to get your audio working. Network manager is for Wi-Fi, and everything else is in here this necessary. And Vim and Nano, I have mentioned that in here as well. So you can remove Nano or remove Vim or add like Neo Vim, but I recommend just getting Vim and Nano in here. So Vim will be the text editor, and then if you need any emergency where Vim isn't working, you can use Nano since it's easier, and you have to wait for it to finish. Then you do your gen fs tab. So this is very easy. You just run gen fs tab /mnt, and then this little arrow or angle bracket sends the output of this command to this directory or file, which is mnt.cfstab. And then to verify it, you can cat this file. So cat mnt.cfstab. That's the end of the base installation. Then you do your post installation, obviously. So you enter the chroot environment, configure your localization. So this is going to be with English US UTF-8, and yeah, I already mentioned this is for the US layouts and stuff. And then you add your locale.conf and edit your key map. This is not necessary if you want to use the US key map, because it sets it to US by automatic, but you can set it just in case. And then you are your hosting. We add the user, so you add the user with the bash shell, so you can change this to ZSH if you want to. Just make sure you have ZSH installed. And then you set up sudo with vim, so you can change this to like nano if you want to. Just do that, and then edit the y sudo, and in there you uncomment the wheel line, because we are adding our user to the wheel group. So if the wheel group can execute sudo commands, that means we can do it as well. And then you write and quit, and then you enable network manager for configuring Wi-Fi. SDDM is your login manager, and then you install some packages like console for the terminal. This is essential. I've also left an extra terminal in here, Kitty. This is if you want to use hyperland and stuff. Kitty is really nice. Kate is a text editor. Carrot is also a text editor. MarkNote is a markdown editor, and Firefox is the browser. And then we have to install grub. So grub install dev nvme-on1. Replace this with your disk. So if you have disk 1, secondary disk, you do nvme-on2, 3, so on. And then you install grub. Then you configure grub with grub mkconfig. So grub mkconfig-o, and then you generate the grub configuration. Then you exit chroot, and then you unmount all of the non-busy partitions. Then you reboot, and that's it. That's the Arch Linux installation. It's that easy. It may sound hard, but it's really easy, trust me. And we have the Wayland OBS guide. So if you want to record your screen like I am doing right now, you'll need OBS Studio. So right now I am recording with OBS Studio. So it is a little hard to set up on Wayland. So first of all, here's the native option. So you have to install these packages. Really, you don't need to install the OBS Studio package, because you can do that with Flatpak. So sudo pacman-s flatpak, and then flatpak install OBS link right here with flathub, and that's how you install OBS. Then you install your dependencies. So if you're using GNOME with KDE Plasma, you have to install these. These are pretty much the same, just this last one, XTG Desktop Portal. For GNOME it's going to be GTK, for KDE it's going to be KDE, and for Wayland window managers it's going to be WL. So WL roots based window managers basically. Then you reboot your system to make sure that all of the changes apply, because sometimes if you don't reboot it doesn't work. And that's basically my Arch Linux installation guide and Wayland OBS guide. These two are the things that I've been working on. So sorry for not uploading, and bye bye.